Hey, what is up, guys? We are here with the Quan character breakdown. If you haven't seen our character breakdown videos before, we talk about a character's notable normals, strings, special moves, differences between their variations, as well as go over a basic game plan. So Quan is a pretty defensive character. He knows how to cut off a bunch of different places on screen. He can get you frustrated on the way in. He has surprisingly good overhead low mix-ups for when he catches you in his standing resets, and he's a pretty tricky character. He has a lot of neat stuff, a lot of dirty stuff, a lot of fun stuff. So that's Quan. So the one thing I mentioned about this character is that he does have some pretty good overhead low mix-ups. He also has some pretty decent normals for fighting his way about this range, right? Up close, he's pretty bad, but when he's about this range, he does have some pretty good tools, right, in this general area. One of them is his back one. Really great move, has a ton of range on it, and there's a couple of strings that he can do off of it. I'm not going to get too deep into them, but you guys can check them out. There's a few of them. They're pretty unsafe on block, but they're all special cancelable. So there's that. His overhead low comes from his back two, which is also special cancelable. You can also charge it and fake somebody out. So if they try to block overhead into low, then you can just hold it and fake them out like that. So that is what his overhead looks like. His low is his back 3-2, so it looks like this, right? And if you do back 3-2-4, it's also a launcher. So pretty neat way to get his overhead low right with that and that. Pretty great. His other notable strings that I wanted to bring up is his forward 1-4 like that, lunging overhead like that, or not overhead, excuse me, mid. And it's really safe on block, actually. I think forward 1-4 is 0 or -1, something like that. And his forward 2-1-2 looks like that. Pretty good. Advances him forward as well. Has pretty good range. And if you do forward 2-1-2 into another 2, it is a launcher at the end. So yeah, he has a couple of different launchers, and that's really good for him because of his trance move. And he has a couple of overhead and lows, so he can mix you up pretty well up close. Now, let's talk about his universal special moves. One of them is his skull, down back 2, looks like that. It is a high. The EX version is a mid. He can also do it in the air, and he has the EX version in the air as well. So, a couple of different ways to cut you off right there. He has his sky drop, which is down back 4, looks like that. It's an overhead. EX version also. Nice little skull slam in there. Some American history on the ground. Pretty nice. The other thing he has is his down back 1, which you can do close, mid, or far. And you can also delayed EX this move, right? So you can do it and then like delay the EX. You can't do it instantly. You actually have to wait a second. So yeah, pretty cool move. It actually pops up so you can combo off of it and stuff like that. So if you hit it, you can combo with different moves, like his trance. That is his back forward 3. This is the signature Quan move, right? I mean, afterwards you can just do different combos and stuff like that, whatever you want to do. But one of the main things you'll see often is they do this, and then they walk up and they do some kind of reset or mix up off of it, right? He also has EX trance, which looks like that. And yeah, that is trance. And like, you know, you saw those different ways he has to juggle. That's really important because you can just juggle, trance, and suddenly your opponent has to guess. It's pretty difficult to deal with. So those are his universal moves. Let's talk about the moves in Sorcerer, which is the variation we're in right now. It has 3 different moves. They're all the same input with just different buttons. So down 1 looks like this. This is a buff to his down back 1 as well as his skulls. They drain meter when they hit in this variation. So that is a pretty interesting one. And you have to think about all these different Sorcerer buffs is you have to stand in the circle. When I'm not standing in the circle, normal skull. But when I am standing in the circle, you see the purple skull that drains meter. So his down 2 means I do extra chip on my opponent when they're standing in the circle. So I can demonstrate for you guys if I have them on always block. So that does 5%, normally 1.7%. But yeah, you do have to get your opponent to stand in that that general area, which is pretty much only useful if you like trance and then you do like something in the corner and you set it up like that. But yeah, kind of situational. The last one, down 3, is armor. So I'm gonna have our friend here, Mr. Liu Kang, do down forward, and then I'll have him stop. So if I just do down 3, yeah, I gotta hit an armor. It's not forever. Yeah, you can see it takes a little while for me to charge it back. It's every couple of seconds, so I'll have it again now. So yeah, it's a hit of armor, which means I can go through whatever. It is not permanent, but it's pretty good for characters when you're trying to zone and you're just throwing out zoning moves, right? You're just like trying to throw down stuff like this, right? And your opponent does like a move to fly through it, and you're standing in that. You can just take the hit, absorb it, and then go for whatever punish you want to do. So pretty great. Now, let's take a look at Warlock. Warlock has a couple of unique normals and some pretty like this is some of the coolest looking stuff. Like look at this. How cool of a normal is that, right? That is his forward 3 and it hits anywhere on screen and it has a little knockdown element to it if it hits. It is a mid. It's really fast. Really, 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 really fast. But it's a mid, so there's no mix up there or anything like that. The other thing he has is his portal slam, which is 1, 2, throw. And then you just slam him on the floor like that. You can also EX it. And then you just slam him to the ground like that, so you get a little extra damage, combos, stuff like that. He also has his 2-1, forward 3. Oh, whoops, I did 4-4. So yeah, same normal that you saw before, that one, but it just in a string. So, looks like that. The other thing he has in here is a special move called Portal Grab, which looks like that. And the EX version, he does this. Now, the thing is, it looks like when you do that, you can combo off of it, but it's actually not comboable. Like, when I walk up, you see how it looks like he's juggled? He's not actually in a juggle state. So, if I walk up and do this, you can see he's still standing. So, you can go for overhead low mix-ups off of that. So, you end your combo with the Portal Grab, and you walk up and you can do overhead or low or whatever you want, or throw or whatever kind of mix-up you want to do, right? So, that is Warlock. Again, standing resets is kind of Quan Chi's thing. That's kind of what he's really good at. Next variation is Summoner. This one is really unique. It's probably one of the coolest variations out there. I think it's really, really cool. So, Summoner has this Demon Bat you can summon down back 3. Follows you along the screen and stuff like that. Has a limited time. Now, the interesting thing about this Demon Bat is that you can use it in situations, in combos and stuff like that. And you can also send it out while you're doing strings. So, if you do a move that's unsafe, like let's say you do like trance, and you want to make sure you're safe and like they block it, you can send out the bat so that your opponent can't run up and combo you. That's really great, right? Now, the bat has a couple of different ways it can be set out. So, down forward 3, it just goes and throws, right? That's really cheap, a full screen throw. But if I set the AI to duck, you will see, yeah, just kind of ducks it. There's that. I'll turn off. I'll put him back to standing. So, the other moves he has is just a straight dive, which looks like that. He has forward and like an attack. So, that's a mid projectile, right? Then there is the back, which is an uppercut kind of move. This is really good for juggles, actually. And you have to be really close for it to work, though. But yeah, you can juggle off. It does a lot of damage as well. So if you find the right opportunity to do that, it can be really good. The other move he has is down, which is a low strike. So he actually has a low on it, which is pretty good, right? Well, you're going to duck anyway because, you know, he only has mids and lows, and the throw version, you can duck. But then Quan Chi just walks up to you and does an overhead. So you can see how that'll give you some problems. But yeah, the bat's really good because let's say you do something like trance. You can summon the bat, and then now you have the bat with you for your combo, or if you want to go for like some kind of mix-up after, then you have that as well. So, yes, that is Summoner Quan Chi. Again, Quan Chi is actually like a pretty defensive, zoning type character, but you guys can see that he definitely has a lot of mix-up potential and stuff like that. So, if you want to zone, but you also like the ability to have some setups or open people up, then Quan Chi is definitely a character I would recommend. He seems pretty fun. He's got a lot of really neat stuff to mess with. Really good if you like messing around in training mode and coming up with cool setups. That's been Quan Chi's character breakdown. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys again soon.